just walk away. For it is better for it may cause a trouble in repeating the right than by accepting it. Right is right even when everyone is against it, and wrong is wrong even when everyone is for it. If not because of the colonial masters, we wouldn't have been literally literate here today to debate this topic. A man who is still living at the bank of the Niger should not also be seen washing his hands with spittles. At this junction, I rest my case.
Like the words of Robert Scholar, the aim of the wise is not to secure pleasure, but to avoid pain. Amazing. It's entering in his first letter. Now to the first big politics was the first decision.
I'll be standing on the existing protocols, ladies and gentlemen. It was in 1865 that Trevor Noah said, perhaps in the nearest future, there will be a history about Africa. But for the meantime, there is only a history of the Europeans in Africa. The rest is largely darkness, and darkness is not a subject for history. I disagree with this analogy by Trevor Noah, because in Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart, he asked the question, does a white man really understand our culture about land? And then he went further in answering, no. How can he understand our culture about land when he does not even speak our own language? But yet, he says that our tradition is bad. And our brothers who have taken up his religion also say that our tradition is bad. How can we then fight as one when our clan can no longer act as one? When our brothers have turned their backs against us? The white man came peaceably and quietly with his religion. We were amused at his foolishness, and then we allowed him to stay. And then he placed a knife on the edge of everything that once held us together, and we were falling apart. Ladies and gentlemen, let us not try to be skeptic in today's debate. I acknowledge the fact. Allow me to arrive at my point, remind me later. I will acknowledge the fact that Achebe was a product of both the European education and also the African tradition. But then, in his book, Things Fall Apart, he made it clear to us that when the white men came, they came not just to teach us or to help us to discover the mineral resources we never knew we had. They also came to exploit us. Let me have your question.
I have a question.
Your speaker here said that the colonial masters came peaceably and quietly with the regions. Please, can you make reference to that?
We got this reference from Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart, page 88. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my reference speaker, for that wonderful answer. In further analogy with my points, I would like to take us on a Ferris wheel ride to when there was agriculture in the good moments before the Europeans came to Africa. Team opposition in today's debate has tried to convince us that the Europeans brought about mechanized agriculture, which has helped us to cultivate more crops and yield more crops. But I tried to tell us in today's debate that what they only brought us was chemicals that would wash away our soils, give us erosion, and destroy our crops. Ladies and gentlemen, I remember in those days, we had our own tradition, we had our own education. Our children were educated with the Nsibidi language. And I'll be honest with every one of us here, I regret that I never knew how to speak the Nsibidi language. Because if I knew how to speak the Nsibidi language, I would not be passing about listening to some lecturer spewing endless rhetorics about a tradition that I did not know about. Ladies and gentlemen, we should all open our eyes to a new tradition and also welcome that the African tradition and culture is based on the European tradition and culture. In Raymond Charlie's Blood of a Stranger, we saw the theme of the seat when Whitehead, the priest, came with his assistant Parker to Manduland. Now when they came there, they tried to deceive the people of Manduland and told them that they did not want to remain poor forever. Allow me to arrive at that point. They now told the people of Manduland that they did not want to remain poor forever. Thereby they're going to help them to discover those things they did not know they had. Let me ask you. I have a question.
Your history illustration of the book you read, please can you show more light on what you just said?
My sister made mention of a book known as Charlie's Blood of a Stranger. And in the book, the Whitehead, which is the white man in that play, came and deceived them of making them know about their riches through breeding a tobacco farm for them. But instead, he came to exploit them of their diamond. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my reference speaker. To follow my points, in the same Blood of a Stranger, we saw about greed and ambition. We believe that everyone in Africa has his or her own form of greed. But then, when Whitehead came, he became very greedy and he tried to deceive everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, Whitehead came to Manduland and then he disobeyed the rules of the people of Manduland. It was supposed to be that whenever a stranger comes into their land, the person was supposed to pay homage to the king. But then we saw that Whitehead and his assistant Parker did not agree to that rule, and therefore they flouted the tradition of the people of Mandland, thereby disregarding the traditions of Africa. Now they went ahead to discover diamonds, and not just did they want to discover the diamonds, they wanted to exploit us and take our diamonds away, thereby giving us reasons to believe that the Europeans came to deceive us and also to take things away. Whitehead was also a pervert because they saw in Delatali's play that he sexually abused Rawa, who was also a character in the play, and thereby making people to be afraid of them using the tobacco smokes from his pipe. Ladies and gentlemen, in today's debate, we're trying to know between the African traditional culture and the European traditional culture, which is better. And I'll ask you to believe with me in today's debate, the African traditional culture has proven to us to be more better than the white man traditional culture, and this is Jojo I am proud to propose. Thank you.